Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, episode 72. Jamie, how the heck are you doing, bud?
Doing good, but I got a co-host that's real anal about some weird stuff.
Really?
Yeah, you believe that crap?
What's the anal about? You're referring to me.
Yeah, not the other host.
Are you talking about me, Sunshine?
Not that host on Fox.
All right, so before we start recording, I tell Jamie to move his phone because it's in the camera screen.
This phone that's now on the camera screen will drive Brad completely insane.
If it was sitting where he left it at, it would have just the edge of it would have shown on the left-hand side of the screen, and it would have driven me crazy. And then
Brad was running around like a squirrel that lost his nuts.
But then I found my nuts, and you moved the phone.
Well, yeah, that's how you found the nuts.
They were hidden under the phone.
Yeah.
And then we had to argue about the water bottle. Like, I don't care.
You don't care about a water bottle.
Is in the camera, but you drink the water on the show, so the bottle's in the screen at some point anyway. The phone, we don't touch our phones during the recording of the show. Just is what it is.
I just did.
Well, yeah, now because you were making a point.
I just touched it again.
Yeah, you're just doing it to mess with me. See,
it's gonna touch you. You've been touched by the phone, Brad. Don't come unglued.
Just take your toe, take your toe cheese, and move on. Ain't nobody got no time for all that.
Got no time for this nonsense.
So what's up, man? What'd you do? Have a good weekend?
No, I actually worked outside Saturday morning, and that did it for me.
That was it. What'd you do Sunday?
I stayed in the house because it was hot and humid.
Watched the race?
I watched the race.
Yeah, I didn't really do a whole lot Sunday. I laid around working on the show all day, pretty much. Trying to get ready. We are recording a little on the early side today. It is my wedding anniversary, mine and my wife's wedding anniversary. 19 years we've been married. So
it's really weird that you got married on a Monday.
I know. It's like we would have thought about it when we were getting married. Like, Monday we're probably going to have a podcast.
Yeah, Monday?
We should have been thinking in ahead, like way ahead, like 19 years
I'm sure you
ahead.
could get a church, though.
We got married
on pretty easy to get a Monday church.
It was a Saturday.
Oh.
It's with the way the earth moves around the sun and the calendar system works with 7 days uneven.
You mean that
Lord's
Caesarian
Day on Sunday and count to 24
the Caesarian calendar?
No, the
Mayan calendar?
Yeah,
that expired.
Yeah, but we renewed it.
Oh, okay.
It's a subscription.
As long as you renewed it.
I do it on an annual subscription.
Did you pay your taxes on it?
I save $7 a month by using the annual subscription.
Well, everything's a subscription now.
It comes with Flow Racing, actually.
I heard that they're going to, with electric cars, since they can't charge a federal gas tax,
you can charge an
they're going to start charging use tax on the roads.
So your thingy's falling off there.
My thingy's falling off? Oh, my goodness. It's falling off.
Your clip-on is clip-oning off.
I made children with my thingy.
Now it's
there we go.
Off. Saved. The thingy has been saved.
Just call me Stump.
We saved the thingy.
I'm Stump.
Stumpy?
Stumpy.
So last week's show, we dedicated to Janet and Eric. This week, we're going to give a shout-out to our buddy Russell from Black Bayou Designs. We greatly appreciate you listening, man. I'm assuming he probably listens while he's making furniture and cabinets, since that's kind of what he does.
Yeah, I listen to us while we work.
While you make stuff?
It's just annoying hearing my own voice.
So what we're doing is we have 28 shows left till we hit 100 episodes. So every week we're going to dedicate the show to a different listener.
How many shows till we hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube?
11.
11 more?
1,100.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do a whole lot of YouTube last week. Kind of took a break, actually. It's kind of nice.
Getting ready for Labor Day?
Yeah. Whenever that day might be.
That's on a Monday, too.
As we discussed.
You didn't get married on a Labor Day.
As we discussed, we don't know when Labor Day is.
I think it's
coming up.
2 or 3 weeks from today?
It's coming up.
3 Mondays from today.
Something
2
like
weeks.
The weekend after Daytona?
I'm thinking, 2 weeks.
We'll have to check that out.
Maybe it's 3 weeks. No, I'm thinking 3 now. Labor is kind of communist, socialist. Don't you celebrate labor unions? And since we're not a member of a union, do we have anything to celebrate?
Yeah, so
I guess we can cook hot dogs and hamburgers.
yeah, shoot fireworks. Labor Day is a good excuse to blow stuff up.
You don't work on Labor Day. Wouldn't you work on Labor Day to celebrate labor?
Or you would have a baby.
It sounds like something some communist came up with in Russia.
It's probably a holiday made up by the firework manufacturers to sell more fireworks.
I don't think they've really impacted Labor Day. That's not a big Labor Day fireworks
I think it's
thing.
just an excuse to have a day off of work federally.
Man, they get like 1 day a week off of work federally, and our taxes pay
And
for
they
their
don't
days
even work
off.
when they're at work. So
I know.
I don't know. Well, anyway, after 100 episodes, we are not going to quit. We'll keep going.
Oh,
I think
that was an expiration.
Well, see, there was some confusion. I had somebody reach out and ask me about that. They're like, "Look, I think it's cool that you're dedicating a show a week to a listener or whatever."
What if you run out of fans?
Huh,
They didn't say that.
no,
Oh, they were generous.
yeah, they were like thinking it was really cool, but
Call me out.
they thought they were quitting. They're like, "So after 100, you're done? That's your end date?" I'm like, "No. We'll keep going. 100 is just a big deal."
It's 1 and 2 knots.
Like, I think this is episode 72. I think 75's a big deal.
Yeah.
And then 100. And then after 100, what, 150?
I don't know. You kind of need to
Or
go
you
to
just do
250 then, right?
Or 200.
Or do we just want to celebrate constantly?
I mean,
I'm not big into cake. Can we celebrate without cake?
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe on 100, we'll make a donut cake.
A trail mix.
A pancake.
A Little Debbie.
A pancake.
Donut.
A little Debbie
with a
donut
smuggler on top.
pancake cake. I think we could come up with Little Debbie's, the chocolate Little Debbie's and pancakes and make a cake out of it. Just a stack of pancakes with Little Debbie donuts around it.
I
Like
give
a
you.
swirl.
You'd be the poster child for one of the evening news
Diabetes.
advertisements. Yeah, diabetes.
I'd have a medication named after me.
The Brad.
All right, so let's jump into some stories. Let's tell some stories.
Some stories.
Hey, I realize that we're an opinion-based podcast.
Are we?
Yeah, we're not facts, so we have to be opinion.
Well, we have some facts occasionally.
Sometimes.
Most are facts.
Most of our opinions are based on facts.
At least our facts.
Yeah,
Our truth. Isn't that how they do it in Hollywood now?
That's what matters.
Our truth.
It's our truth, and
our truth can be any truth we have.
Most of these stories that we read come offline, so there's a slight chance
On the intranet.
There's a slight chance there's a little bit of truth to every one of them, or a whole lot. That's my thing. The more whacked out the story is, the more believable it is. Honestly, like,
well, we do live in a world of extremes now. Why not?
Extremes and stupid dreams.
Do you think that's why Twitter's now X for extreme?
Swexter.
Extreme tweeting.
I've seen people calling it X now, and
It doesn't sound right.
like we posted on X. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay. I mean, our buddy Brandon listens to the show. He agreed. He's gonna stay OG Twitter as well.
I mean, X sounds so empty.
I mean, you can tweet on X. I'm just not getting rid of Twitter or tweeting.
I mean, I'm Gen X and I'm not for the X. X has been overdone for my generation.
The big lit up X he put on the Twitter building downtown.
Then they got mad and he had to pull it down because he didn't get a permit.
Only he wouldn't get a permit. Like, come on, man.
I think he wanted the publicity, man, for not having one. X.
Oh, it was all publicity. I mean, look at all the publicity he got when he put it up. Everybody was talking about how bright it was, and everybody had an opinion on it. So that's all free publicity to get ready to launch the brand X. I mean, you're trying to get the new name of Twitter out there as X.
What's the clone?
What better way to do it than the publicity he got from doing the big giant?
What's the Facebook clone of Twitter now? What's it called?
I don't remember. Trends.
No,
that's not right.
T instead of X. Spill the tea.
I was on it for like 3 days and I quit using it. Threads, maybe?
Threads?
Yeah, let's go with that.
He already owns Instagrams. Why didn't he call it Grams?
Well,
And he smokes a lot of weed. Just stick with Grams.
yeah, just you have Instagram and then you have grams.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't do that.
Just call it Gram Bag.
Or Dime Bag.
Yeah.
You could have named it after the great Dime Bag Darrell.
I mean, I saw him on an interview where he smokes weed daily. Call it the weed.
The weed. little weed.
Little weed.
All right, so a man in Texas who was robbed at an ATM returns later that night, sees the robber still hanging around the ATM, runs him over, and gets his money back. So this dude in Texas, he gets robbed at the ATM, right? He goes to the police department, fills out his report, does all the paperwork, and he's driving back home. On the way back home, he passes that same ATM he was robbed at, sees the guy who robbed him hanging around, and runs him over. So it says that he ran him over, pinning his legs under the car, gets out, digs through the guy's pockets, gets his money back and his ID back.
I think he did a good job. Obviously, the cops weren't smart enough to go see if the guy's still hanging around.
This is the most Texas thing I've ever heard of.
Was this in Uvalde where they wouldn't even defend the lives of children?
No.
The same cops?
No, it wasn't.
Like, oh,
it was in.
There's no reason to go to that ATM, and the robbery already took place.
I mean, I take all the town names out of these, and I just give you the state. You can find it if you want to find it.
It really kind of explains the ineptitude of the police department in this little town.
Honestly, the robber's lucky he didn't get shot. I mean, everybody in Texas carries a gun.
He felt like the cops weren't going to do anything to him. He's still hanging around the ATM.
I got another story of Texas, and then we'll come back to the Michigan story. So, police in Texas said a man killed another man who allegedly stole his truck after tracking the thief down using an Apple AirTag.
That works for me. Why not?
Police said they received the report of a stolen vehicle around 1 p.m. The truck's owner used the Apple AirTag that he had left in the truck to track the vehicle nearly 80 miles from where it was stolen. When he found the man, they got into a shootout with each other, killing the man who stole the truck.
Sounds like self-defense to me.
I think this is premeditated. You had 80 miles to think about it. Now, granted, dude stole my truck.
Did he not tell the police he AirTagged it?
It didn't say. Now, the police are reporting this. I'm thinking, because he was shot a little after 1 p.m. when the truck was... I'm thinking he reported the truck being stolen while following the dude.
So here's my take on it.
He didn't wait on the police to get there. He just broke out his .45 and just started blasting away.
The state of Texas ought to give the owner of the truck that shot the thief
commission
a reward because of the money he's saving the prison system and the court system.
And he did the police's job for them.
Yeah, all the police had to do was pay for it.
He was obviously a bad shot, though.
No, he killed it. The thief was the bad shot.
Well, so really, if you think about it, the thief died, right? Mm-hmm. The owner of the truck now has 2 vehicles he owns with bullet holes in them.
I don't think you could trust the guy that stole it, though.
Well, I mean, he's shooting at the guy that stole it, so he at least shot out the driver's side window, the front window probably, got holes in the side of the car, and the vehicle he drove to chase the guy who stole his car down.
I was thinking they got out.
The owner has both cars. No, it said there was bullet holes in both cars.
I was thinking maybe they did a duel out in the street.
No, they didn't
reach for the sky.
Pow, 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 pow.
Double gun that thing.
No, it's more like got the lean going on, lean back driving. Pow, pow, pow.
Oh, you followed him in his Chrysler 300?
No, I think he was in a Mini Cooper.
A Mini Cooper.
This is Texas. It was probably an F-350, and he was following in his F-250.
They call Suburban subcompacts there in Texas.
Yeah. You got to have the big Suburban, not the little one. The Tahoe.
The XLT, yeah.
All right, so police in Michigan go undercover as drug dealers and end up busting another undercover cop who went undercover as a drug buyer.
I'm hoping it was 2 different police departments.
Yeah, so it was 2 different cities, and it was a freak mistake. It was a freak accident. The buyer was actually with one of his contacts who was like a CI, I guess, and he was working undercover with him. And as they're passing through this city, they hear of an opportunity to make a good buy. So they ended up stopping, and the cops busted him. And turns out they busted another cop. So,
well, that's about par for the course.
It's Michigan.
It's Michigan. It's its own place. It's kind of like
very, very near Detroit,
California North.
Yeah.
They're almost to that point.
Yeah, it would be like the snowy part of California.
Yeah,
because
the Midwest part of California.
I don't know if it's really white there because it's like more like gray, with all the smog and stuff mixes with the
industrial waste and all that fun stuff.
It turns the snow like a gray color, right? You lived there, didn't you?
I lived there.
Yeah. So
back in the
wasn't the snow like a grayish color?
80s, early 80s. Yeah. They built where I live. They built Oldsmobiles. Fisher Body was there.
You know any undercover cops?
I know some cops. I don't know if they're undercover. I go to church with a few. I know an ATF agent.
I would think
he will take your Second Amendment rights in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So, whenever someone talks guns around them, I say, I lost all my guns. They got accidentally thrown into the last SpaceX.
You know what happened with mine? My cat. I was trying to teach my cat about gun safety. Like me and Jamie actually learned on this show that you should buy this book that teaches your cat about gun safety.
Yeah,
so
Thea learned it, my cat.
Well, I was trying to teach my cat about it, and it wasn't going so well. So I had to get rid of the guns and the cat. I no longer have a cat. Never.
I would get rid of a cat that doesn't believe in my Second Amendment rights.
I mean, if you're either going to learn gun safety as a cat or you're not. And if you're not,
you can't have her going wild in your house.
You can't stay here.
Lose their anger, shoot up the family. I mean,
it could be bad.
But good thing she took your guns, because when they come to get them, they're already gone.
Exactly. So I have nothing to give now.
Well, that's what happened when Elon took mine and threw them on the last SpaceX flight.
Yeah, I mean,
they're all gone.
Well, we're gathering rocks in my yard. Me and the kids are.
For self-defense?
Yeah, we're going to use rock slingshots. We got a few old school. Boing.
Well, you won't have to pick up any brass.
Exactly. Rocks are readily available in the Southeast.
And I don't think they can do
granite.
I don't think the police can test the rock.
Probably not. And I think
see if it was yours, except for fingerprints.
Well, like David and Goliath, it
worked. Yeah.
But
that was the original NRA, the National Rock Association. That was back there with the Goliath thing,
the old school.
Yeah, they wanted to ban
rocks.
Well, not rocks, just slingshots.
Slingshots.
But
that's an old school slingshot.
The Israelis came up with their constitution, and the National Rock Association defended the rights of the public in Israel to have rocks.
That's good.
And slingshots. Because what's the point?
And they got a lot of rocks too.
They do.
Desert.
I mean, even old Satan asked Jesus to turn a rock into a loaf of bread.
And that's because he was worried about Jesus hitting him with that rock.
It was a big rock.
He's like, well,
that's a loaf size there.
You ain't going to hurt me with a loaf of bread, but that rock's going to hurt. So can you please turn this into a loaf of bread?
Jesus said no.
Yeah, because a rock hurts.
Don't take my rights away.
Like, you know what they used to say back in the old school Testament days? You never bring a loaf of bread to a rock fight.
Well, and they used to stone people too.
Exactly. So you don't bring a loaf of bread to a rock fight.
Even one of them heavy wheat breads that are like heavy as crap. You need water to eat because it's
sourdough.
One of them hippie homemade breads.
Hippie bread.
Yeah.
We watched that Jesus Revolution this weekend. You seen that?
Is that the new CW show, or is that the one on Netflix?
Netflix.
I saw it. I did not watch. Oh, where he goes to some church in California?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Frisbee.
I want to see it.
Frisbee dude. What's his first name? I just watched it. Wow. His last name's Frisbee, though.
I wanted to watch it.
It's a good one. You need to watch it. Watch it, and then we'll talk about it on the show. We won't even talk about it today because you haven't watched it. No, but back to the Michigan undercover cops busting another set of undercover cops. I honestly figured this would happen more often.
You would think.
I mean, you think about New York City, how many different precincts they have, right?
Or just priests selling dope.
The priest sell.
Yeah.
Is that a problem with the Catholic priests?
Every time I go there, that's who I get my The priest is slinging the dope to me.
So you get your dope.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you want some drugs? And I'm like, priests don't do drugs, dude. And he said, well, this is New York City.
It's the New York City priest.
So, like,
must be a Catholic thing. I'm
well,
not Catholic, so
the Franciscan monks there are now opening dispensaries since it's legal in New York. That's what the priest told me.
You see, they're getting ready to vote in North Carolina to see if the Native Americans can sell cannabis on the reservations.
I thought the reservations were their own country.
Well, I think they try to work.
We're going to take the land from the Indians again?
No,
oh my
we just tell them what
goodness.
they can and can't do on it. No, I think they try to work hand in hand with the state. Like, they don't just go all rogue, but
I mean, do they have to get permission to do the casinos?
no. I don't know. I'm sure they work hand in hand with the city because they need the city to support the casinos and the cannabis.
So what state is this?
North Carolina.
It sounds kind of dumb.
It does. Just
I mean,
they need to just federally legalize it and let's move on.
I mean, really, even I'm not getting into politics. Politics.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk politics on the show anymore.
Yeah, forget it. Just whatever.
So,
America.
Speaking of America, marijuana, a 60-year-old American driver was arrested last week after he took a wrong turn and ended up at the Canadian border with over 400 pounds of cannabis and more than $600,000 of cash in his car.
Well, isn't that a problem though?
So apparently, authorities said that he was following his GPS that he had incorrectly entered the address into when he ended up in the border crossing line at Canada's Rainbow Bridge border crossing in Niagara Falls. So I guess he was in Canada trying to come into America. Luckily, Canadian officials caught him and not American officials, so he didn't.
Is this like a dumbass criminal?
Obviously.
Weed's legal in New York and Canada.
That's what I was thinking.
What?
Like, you're literally going from one legal state. So he probably was just driving through, entering into New York, and then planning on heading down to
Well, there's some crossings with New York where there's no guards. Why not drive through there?
He didn't mean to. That's what he's saying. Like,
so he's
an idiot.
This is one of the dealers using his own product is what this is.
He's using his and his buddies.
Yeah.
So the Canadians charged him on suspicion of possession with intent to import cannabis.
Isn't 400 pounds a little more than just a suspicion?
Exactly. And he's importing it.
Whoa.
And he got hit with the possession of more than $5,000 in cash that came from or was obtained by illegal activities.
What if he owned a legal?
So you can have $4,999 of criminal money, and you'll be okay.
So he already sold about 400 pounds then. That's how he had all that money.
600,000. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what weed goes for, but
maybe that was his petty cash.
Sounds like he's already sold some.
Maybe that's his petty cash.
Was he undercutting the legal dispensaries? Sitting outside, hey,
black
for
market marijuana is huge in these legal states.
I would think, though, I mean, I don't know if they inspect the legal weed in the legal states. I would think, though, you want, I don't know, inspected stuff like you do with your meats.
Oh, like
FDA?
Yeah, I mean,
or Department of Agriculture grade A beef. Who would do it for weed?
So,
would that also be department? No, it can't be.
No,
it's illegal.
They use a third party basically now for it. Like, I watched a show on Discovery Channel, Belushi Farms, which is probably 100% made up, to be honest with you. But
I've watched it. It looks like real weed he's growing.
No, I mean, I truly believe he's growing real weed, but I'm saying the whole plot of the thing
probably off personal use, being a Belushi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It looks like about as much as he would need for a year.
He's probably growing a heroin tree.
I doubt that.
You think?
Nah.
Not a heroin tree?
That died way back when.
When his brother did it?
I would think that would be enough to cure the family of.
I don't know. He's doing weed. His brother died of
heroin.
He's probably growing a heroin tree.
Nah. Heroin doesn't grow on a tree.
Well, I'm not a farmer, dude.
Heroin comes from the poppy plant.
I thought that was morphine.
Morphine. Oh man, I was listening to a podcast, the search engine, the one Dale Jr. talked about on his show a few weeks ago, or did a promo for a few weeks ago. And I was listening to a fentanyl episode, and they were talking about the difference between OxyContin comes from the plant, oxycodone is made in the lab, something like that.
Well,
I probably just screwed
less
that whole
overhead,
bit.
right?
Well, that's why fentanyl is so popular. You know, in 2016, the United States government said that fentanyl was not something they were concerned about. It would never be a problem in America because it was just too powerful and people wouldn't ever be able to use it.
Well, you know,
And now it's the number one. You know, fentanyl kills more people than guns.
Yeah, I believe that. That's why you need that Narcan.
And my buddy lives out there in San Francisco. And,
Did he do some fentanyl?
well, he drives for Uber, and he has to carry Narcan around with him.
In case an Uber rider?
I think he does Uber.
Flipping?
Yeah, but he does Uber Eats, DoorDash. He doesn't have people in his car. He would not do well with that. I think they would annoy him too much. So, but he has to keep Narcan
On himself?
well in case he's like driving down the road and
Fentanyl flies through his window?
hits him in the eye,
Yeah.
ingested through eye.
I'd be worried about that too. There's a lot of fentanyl going. Have you? Never mind.
What?
I was going to talk about their senator in California who doesn't know who she is and poops her pants, but that's political.
Yeah, we're not talking about Feinberger. All right,
Is that her name? Feinberger?
something like that.
She got a Feinberger? Does she barbecue?
She's 90, dude.
She got a grill?
She's 90. I don't think she has a
looks older than
Feinberger
that.
anymore.
She looks like the bad dude on Star Wars.
Oh yeah, the
Episode 3, he would have been episode 6.
I know who you're talking about.
The Return of the Jedi or whatever. The last.
The red one. That you're talking about? The dude with the
The
stripe.
old dude.
The dude with the stripe. Oh, you're okay. I know what you're talking about.
The
No,
OG.
the old, like the original one.
Yeah, where like Skywalker and
The-
Darth Vader
the
team
Emperor?
up. The Emperor.
Yeah.
Doesn't she look like the Emperor now?
Yes. She does.
She looked dead.
All right, so let's talk about Japan. It's become a weekly thing. Japan asked schools not to penalize students if they were late to class because they were groped.
Well, I agree with that. You should be able to, it sounds like a legitimate excuse to me.
It sounds like there's a legit problem in Japan right now of people getting groped. So the Japanese government has asked schools not to penalize students if they were late or missed class because they were filling out a police report after getting groped on their way to
So you
school.
have to report that?
Well, so the Ministry of Education apparently takes it very serious when they're late to class. So he's like, oh, you'll not be late. And they get mad at that. So these girls are like, hey, we're getting touched on the bus, but we're not going to tell nobody because we don't want to make the Minister of Education mad. So they just go on to school.
So if you're getting groped, do you say, can you hurry up? I got to get to class. I don't
Will you
want to
hurry
fill
up?
out. I don't want to fill out a report.
No, I think it's just like perverts on the bus touching them, and they can't do nothing about it because they don't want to be late for class. So
Well, I think that happens here on buses, city buses, and subways.
I ain't never met anybody who wouldn't take. If I got groped
we
on the
live
way
in
to
America
school,
where
I
we-
wouldn't go back.
We don't encourage
That
people
would be an excuse not to go back to
take
school.
public transportation in America. We're all car culture.
So apparently,
You
this
have to grope yourself driving to work in America. Or do you fill out a police report for that?
I think they'll.
Hey, officer, I touched myself
So,
without permission.
I do believe they will fill out a police report if you get caught groping yourself on the way to work.
You won't be able to buy a gun either,
Nope.
or anything else.
He's a diddler.
Yep.
So apparently, groping is a serious problem in Japan. The minister's request is one of several policy changes the government has put forward as a part of a campaign launched back in March to eliminate groping in public. It was okay in private, just not in public.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
I mean, Japanese. I mean,
If you're in
Japan-
America, right? You work. Let's say you work downtown Atlanta, right? The
Okay.
Capitol building.
all right.
Now, one of them administrative buildings next door. You work for a state senator or something. You're in your car and you grope yourself. Should that be illegal? Because you're in your personal property. Or should you have your windows tinted?
And legally, your car is an extension of your house, correct?
Yes, I believe so. That's why they need a search warrant if you don't give permission to search it.
That's why our last employer had gun rules, but because of the state's laws, the gun rules didn't apply because state laws trumped their rules. No, we could have still got fired, I guess. But
Now you're going to use the T word.
what?
Trump. You're getting political over there.
No, I said Trump. Duh.
Oh, you did the I.
Yeah,
Id.
it's lowercase t. Ided.
Say Trump and I'll do id.
Trump.
Id.
Trump.
Id.
Trump.
Id.
Trump. Trump.
Id.
We're
That
idiots.
didn't work.
We're idiots.
That was just dumb.
I thought we were going somewhere for a second, but it just ended. It ended on such a low.
Well, it didn't work. That bit didn't work.
So,
Back to fentanyl. Maybe we need some fentanyl to be more entertaining.
This wasn't even planned. Well, it was planned, but the fentanyl conversation was not planned earlier. So a man in Florida who was riding a bike on the wrong side of the road was arrested after deputies found enough fentanyl on the man to kill 4,000 people.
God dang it. No wonder he was on the wrong side of the road.
He was
He was
spotted.
dying.
He was spotted riding his bicycle on the wrong side of the road with no reflectors at night in the dark. So the dude was wearing all black.
What an idiot.
They also found meth. This is funny, dude. You explain this. They found meth on him, a pocket knife, a bottle cap, and an O-ring.
Wow. That's crazy.
An O-ring, like from a car, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they
I got
small?
this. Well, on my wife's car, there's canister.
It's no bigger
oil
than,
filters.
than my wedding ring, right?
Well, on my wife's car, there's an O-ring that comes with each new cartridge for your filter. It's that big around.
Okay.
It's the size of a donut.
But
Why would you put it in your pocket?
Why would you put it in your police report?
Was he using a small one to seal
found-
his bottle cap?
You found a bottle cap and an O-ring.
Well, I'm gonna
Never mind the meth.
I'm gonna applaud Florida man here. He's not into the fentanyl. I think that meth was his private stash. He was being safe.
Yeah, he was delivering. He was just a delivery driver. in my opinion. He was delivering the fentanyl
he knew
from
better.
point A to point B. The meth is what they probably paid him with. So I was reading the story, and the police were like, "Sir, do you have anything on you that'll hurt us? Do you have any weapons of any type?" He says, "I got a bottle cap and an O-ring."
You know.
Then they said, "Do you have anything else on you?" He goes, "I got a knife and some meth."
You know, there's no place in America that's, when you get down and dirty redneck, Florida rednecks are the most redneck.
Native Central Florida rednecks.
Yeah. Like,
I'm talking generational native, like
fourth generation. You can tell from a distance.
Sixth.
You think?
Yeah. Fourth, you're still morphing.
Oh,
You're not all the way there. Sixth.
Every time we go to the races, we see him. We're like, oh my goodness.
Oh, that whole ride through Central Florida?
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh.
jeez.
You don't get out to get gas.
No.
You don't get gas. You don't run out.
It's either the zombie apocalypse or fourth generation Floridians. I don't know which.
Sixth generation.
I think you kind of get a little sloped on the head after 4. You're getting there.
But you still got, your faculties are still working up here in the top.
I think 6th gen, your single wide has no floor and holes in the ceiling.
4th gen Floridian is like 4th gen Arkansas, South Arkansas.
Yeah, I would think. And
6th gen,
you've given up the car, you're walking now.
Yeah.
Living, you don't know where you live.
If you really want to see the bad ones, it's the next gen, 7th gen.
Yeah.
That's, whew. 7th gen Floridians don't even wear Crocs.
They don't even lie to you.
They don't even
give me
have
some
toes.
food. They're like, nah, I need $10 for some meth or some crack or maybe some fentanyl.
Yeah,
Do you have any?
Their signs on the side of the road are very obvious. They ask for what they want.
I want my meth.
I need beer and meth.
Fentanyl's
Fentanyl,
okay,
please.
if you give it to me for free.
I was listening to that whole fentanyl, why they put it in their drugs to make it more potent. I haven't finished it yet. But
Isn't killing off your customers a bad idea? It's not a good customer service plan.
no, that's what I was thinking. It's like, you're not going to have any repeat customers with that business.
No. They're
Mono.
going to say, Billy over there sold Teresa some of that stuff, and she dead now.
So we probably don't want
I
to
ain't
go back
going
to
to Billy, no. I'm going to go Russell.
Well, then Billy killed him too.
It's not a good business plan, if you ask me.
No, I agree.
You want to sell something that gets people hooked,
Not kills them.
like air conditioning in Georgia.
Wasn't
That
crack?
should almost be
Wasn't
legal.
the crack pandemic similar to this though? Didn't it kill people?
Yeah, it did. Kill people all over. And they were shooting in the streets, killing people. It was like the Wild West. I grew up in D.C. during that period. It was.
80s.
Yeah, they were shooting all over the place.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's what's his name? Richard Pryor caught on fire.
Yeah.
Ran around on
I
fire.
had a friend, I can't say his name because he might kill me.
Please don't.
But in high school, he was real poor. And one day he cruised up with a brand new Nissan 300ZX.
Yeah.
And we're like, how could he afford that? And someone said, he's selling the crack. He's selling the crack. And you know what happened within a month? He was selling some crack. No, he was in jail. He was selling some crack.
So he was working for the government.
And the cops surround him. And he ran their car with his brand new 300, perfectly destroyed, wonderful car. And he got injured. They took him to the hospital, D.C. emergency room, D.C. hospital, and then they took him to jail. He did not graduate with us. Do you believe that?
I do.
Because he had crack with him and a gun.
Well, I mean,
money.
Usually the criminal life leads to, not graduating high school.
Well, we even found out it opened up an investigation into car dealerships selling cars for cash because he was only 15.
But isn't never mind. I mean, that's a government conspiracy because I think crack's something the CIA invented just to.
Well, they had a plane that gets shot down full of drugs.
Yeah.
And there were some survivors. Tom Cruise made a movie about it.
Yeah. But I don't think it was crack.
I think he called it cracker.
I thought it was cocaine.
Well, that's what they make crack out of.
I thought crack was chemically made, like meth. I have no idea.
All I know about crack is what I hear on TV.
Yeah.
And I think it's cocaine.
Cocaine.
Dave Chappelle's face was white, just like he did cocaine on crack.
That was
but he had burned lips with a pipe.
Red balls. That was a great skit. Red balls. So a woman in Arizona. A woman steals an electric scooter from a Target in Arizona and is arrested with a dead battery at a crosswalk when trying to cross a busy intersection.
Wouldn't you check the battery charge before you stole an electric scooter?
She was probably shopping and just kept going. So this woman in Arizona steals the handicap scooter from the Target and 11 miles.
One of those sit-down scooters.
Yeah, with the cart, the shopping cart in front of you. Yeah, 11 miles away. She is arrested when the battery dies as she's in the middle of the street crossing it.
That, once again, is an editorial on poor policing. Someone cruising in a Target, because I've seen them. They're painted red with the Target logo on it. She should have been caught
11 miles away
to Target.
That's, 15 minutes in a car around here?
Well, they said, you said she didn't try to run. I guess she really needed it. She wanted a free one. She was going to repaint it at home with spray paint.
Put some wheels on it.
Yeah. Some spinners.
Make it her own.
Oh, that's too bad, lady.
Yeah, police said she didn't try to run once it broke down.
They had been following her for 15 minutes. Those cops were just toying with her, dude.
Could you imagine being the pedestrian on the other side of the road and you see this woman? I imagine this woman's overweight. So I'm picturing like a 450, 500-pound lady on a red Target scooter just
they need to
down the sidewalk, over the bumps, over the divots, all that, just booking it. And a big lady, she ain't going fast. Like maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles an hour. I'm picturing that and the cops, like Reno 911 behind her.
Dude, I see some of these 600-pounders at Walmart. That thing will do it 8 miles an hour as they run into the aisle.
That's the ones where
knock the end cap over.
Where they have 2 kids sitting in the footwell and then one sitting behind it dragging. Bless them. Bless their little
hearts. Bless your little heart.
All right, Jamie. Let's jump into Ask Reddit. Apparently, this is where we teach people things. Actually, it's where it makes us think. So, first question I have for you from Ask Reddit this week is, If you could put any object on the surface of Mars purely to confuse NASA scientists, what would it be?
A Red Bull. They would think Max Van Stuppenheimer was there.
They just
He won the race and kept going.
So some of the answers I saw on Reddit, one guy said a page from a Martian newspaper pondering the possibility that there might be life on Earth.
That'd be funny.
Another guy said a NASA spacecraft, one that NASA has no record of, like something they had never even built, but has the NASA logo all over it and clearly has NASA origins, just not our NASA. So when they saw it, like, hey, wait a minute.
You know, Elon might snatch something for us because, you know, they don't even have rockets at NASA anymore. Elon provides them. He could snatch something and take it up there.
But will we ever land on Mars? That's my question. I mean, we haven't landed on the moon yet, so you think we'll ever really land on Mars?
Oh, I think we landed on the moon.
I don't.
With a telescope, you can see the debris.
We haven't been back since. That's just garbage that's floated up from Earth.
Well, I mean, people don't pick up after themselves here. I see it all the time.
I think I would leave something like a dirty mo, like a shot glass or something. Dirty mo media. Like,
how about a cooter shooter sticker?
Dude, a cooter shooter sticker on a Martian moon rock would be awesome. That's it. That's my answer right there.
Picture of the snail after it won the cannonball run.
Leave the snail
up there, yeah.
Let's just put
what
the
is
Prius.
This Prius doing up here? It looks more like a spacecraft. We'll
use the Prius that we became Cannonball Run champions in this year. We'll put that Prius with a cooter shooter sticker on I'm talking like a 4-foot cooter shooter sticker on the hood of the Prius.
If we get the Prius up there, I think we would get to our 1 million subscribers fast.
I think we can get there. I would watch.
You think Fox would pay for
be the only cooter shooters on Mars?
You think Fox would pay for the rights to telecast it?
Fox would screw it up. We'll go with NBC.
Yeah.
They might not mess it up. All right.
The CW. We'll just have to do the production for them.
So in 50 years, what's something people will be nostalgic for?
I'm already nostalgic for the first Nintendo I had. That was like game breaking. You know, that was just amazing.
For me, I had the Nintendo, but for me, it was probably either the Sega Genesis.
That was a good gaming system. I don't know how that disappeared.
I don't either. It was great. They said to get rid of those cartridges because you got to turn them.
Yeah. Blow the dog hair out of it.
It still don't work. Mom!
Need a new one.
Mom!
I ain't spent $40 on that crap.
I wonder how much games were back then.
Weren't they like $40, $25?
They're like $75 now.
Well, have you noticed everything's more expensive now?
Games
potato chips went from like $2.99 for a bag of Lay's to $5.99 since COVID.
Video games are like $75 and you don't even get a hard copy. I haven't bought a hard copy game since PlayStation 3.
Dude, I was driving down the road.
It's probably been a good 5 years.
Going to Maconga. I saw a Boomer's Trash in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what magazine it was, but the wind was blowing the pages, and a centerfold popped up on a naked lady. There's someone out there still buying these magazines. I didn't stop because I was like, it's free on the internet.
Free on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop and pick up this dirty magazine off the side of the road. I can get it free on the internet.
Yeah, you can't hide the magazines.
All right, Jamie, let's talk some racing, man. Did you watch the race this weekend?
Which one?
Any of them.
I watched the SRX race. I think old Tony Stewart put a whooping on the rest of the field. I mean, just a whooping.
Haley Deegan finished second. I mean,
well, maybe she ain't as bad as everyone thinks.
She's just not good in trucks. I mean,
she says everybody's out to get her. Maybe she's right. I don't know.
I think she's just had a lot of bad opportunity or a lot of bad luck in the trucks, I guess.
Her teammates are winning in the trucks.
So, what did you think about the Indy road course race on Sunday?
To be honest, I think it was the best one we've had yet.
The best road course?
I mean, there wasn't a lot. They changed the starting zone. There wasn't a lot of beating and banging on turn one unless it was, our friend Joey, he didn't seem to know what track he was on.
Joey looked lost.
I mean, Joey's just an idiot. I mean, there were some times he wrecked, caution didn't come out.
No. Well, he locked him up that one time.
He didn't know what he was doing.
That was it, though. After,
I think he had fentanyl in his.
Joey looked like he wasn't even in the same zip code.
I think he had fentanyl in his air conditioner. And it was affecting his driving. From that dude in Canada that didn't know where the border was.
That's insane to me. Like, wouldn't you think when you get in that long line of cars, you're sitting there in this long line of cars, right? You got a car full of marijuana, and you don't buy 400 pounds of marijuana recreationally.
Maybe that was the problem with Joey. He had 400 pounds in the back.
Maybe.
And his car was out of alignment.
So you get in line. You're sitting in bumper to bumper, not moving traffic, right? You got 400 pounds of marijuana and $600,000 in little safe boxes in the back floorboard of your car. Would you not think when you come to a complete stop and you see a row of cars as far as the eye can see that something's not right here?
I would think you would do a U-turn.
Or check your
tags. Take the tags off your car. Take the 600 cash.
And run?
Yeah. Or walk away. That might be suspicious.
Light the car on fire.
That had to be a backpack full of cash, though. That's not a, even at 20s.
No, it was multiple box. They said it was multiple safe deposit or like safe boxes. I'm imagining those little square or
Isn't
rectangle.
that kind of stupid, though? Because
boxes.
if I see a lockbox in your car, I'm going to say, hey, they got something valuable in there.
Especially if you see a floorboard full of lock boxes.
Yeah.
Like this dude was.
I mean, if it's just sitting in Kroger reusable bags, you're going to go, that dude's groceries are going to spoil out here.
We don't talk about smart criminals because if they were smart criminals, we wouldn't be talking about them.
We wouldn't know about them.
So, luckily for us, the world is full of dumb criminals. All the way from Japan to the United Kingdom, to Canada, to America. We have found dumb, stupid criminals.
Let's give props to the mafia.
The mafia? We haven't talked about the mafia, have we?
No, in a long time.
Well, that's the French mafia. I'm saying we haven't talked about the regular mafia.
Think of all the money the FBI spends to catch those guys. And they usually get off scot-free.
It's because they have good lawyers.
They're doing something right when it comes to crime, right?
Crime pays for them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't pay for everybody.
So you need a syndicate. You can't solo it.
You ever been on Reddit?
I mean, physically?
Yeah.
I read some Reddit last night.
Like Reddit on the app, Reddit.
Yeah.
Social media
It's on my phone, but you won't allow me to touch it.
No, and I don't want to see it either.
There's a lot of rabbit holes to go down.
You're not touching it, and I don't want to see it. Period. No, so go on Reddit, look up Florida Man.
Oh, that's a long, deep rabbit hole there.
It's the best Reddit community that I've found yet. Funny news, Florida Man, offbeat's really good. There's a lot of really good Reddit.
I joined a group, Quaker Haters.
Quaker, and you're a Quaker.
Right. And so is everybody on there. They just make fun of the Quaker religion.
So it's a Quaker
You have
hater.
to prove you're a member to get on. I had to wait for an approval process.
Prove you're a Quaker?
Yeah. They don't want non-Quakers.
How do you prove you're a Quaker? You send them a picture of you and a can of Quaker Oats?
You're a member, yeah. Well, I sent them my Ben Franklin.
You were dressed as Ben Franklin?
I lied. I said I was dressed as...
This is me going to...
This is James Farrow from the colonial days.
Quaker church.
In my Quaker clothes.
Not the guy related to Al Gore. The other one.
Yes, the one related to Nixon. And Calvin Coolidge.
The smart one. And Calvin Klein.
No, it was Hoover. I'm sorry. I just accredited the wrong president being a Quaker. Hoover was a Quaker.
The one who invented the vacuum cleaner?
Yes. And was president.
Danielle Hoover?
Yep, Danielle Hoover. And actually his middle name was Dyson.
I was going to say, I don't know how you...
Calvin Dyson Hoover.
Was it really?
No.
Well, I would believe you because you went to college for history. You're a history major.
Well, and, Quakers write everything down. They believe in education, even from
yeah, we're Baptists. So.
Pre-George Washington times.
Yeah.
So they figured you need to be able to read the Bible. So they wrote it all down. So everything in my family is written down from Sherwood Forest. While they're running around naked throwing arrows at people.
Yes,
until George Fox showed up and said, "Be a Quaker."
I wish my family would have wrote more stuff down. It'd be cool to be able to like read what they were thinking back in that time. Like my great grandfather George Washington Carden. It'd be cool to read like what he was thinking about during, because he fought in that Civil War thing.
Oh yeah, we had
the bloodiest battle in the Civil War. He
I had
fought
a
in
James Farrow fighting that thing.
Yeah, he was on the other side that lost.
Well, he thought the slaves should be freed and fought for the Union.
Well, I don't actually know what my great grandfather.
Well, I guarantee you they were shooting at each other.
But I know who he fought for because his brothers and sisters and uncles and cousins were all in the South.
Well, on my mom's side.
I don't know what he technically believed, but
I call him the Georgian.
But he had the coolest name ever.
Yeah, George Washington Carden.
I don't know why.
Not Carver. Carden.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that. Like, I wish I'd have known that. Like, I might have named my fourth son I don't have it.
You still have time.
No, I'm done.
I don't know if you have the money, but you got the time.
I'd have to adopt now.
You'd have to get a side hustle.
2 of them. Kids are expensive.
Did you get snipped?
No.
No? Well, how do you know you're shooting blinks?
I just know.
You do it by taste?
Oh, we can't have no more kids.
Just a rule your wife put down? No more kids?
Yep. Okay. Wrote it in stone. Well, chiseled it.
That's probably the best.
No, after the twins weren't the easiest pregnancy, so.
Well, I mean, you're popping out 2 instead of 1.
I know. Do you imagine?
No, I can't.
Yeah, I watched the C-section. It was insane. Like, the doctor's like, "Do you want to see?" I was like, "Heck yeah!" I stood up.
He asked if you want to see the C-section.
Yeah,
maybe that's why it's called the C-section.
No, it's
I saw the C-section.
It's insane. Like, you see them taking organs out, putting them on top of, like, bloop, babies. Like, whoa, you got to put that back, right?
I've seen a C-section with my youngest. Now, there was not twins there.
Yeah.
So
everything's different with twins. Let's just say that.
I was like, "You can
love them to death."
I told the doctor, "So you can put that back in, right? I mean, we got the kid; he's good. But just
the organs, right? They go back where they're supposed to go." Yeah. So no, Denise can't have any more kids. So we're done.
Okay.
Hysterectomy, fix that.
Yeah, that'll do it.
It solves all the problems with that. But it's funny now that our kids are getting older. We've had conversations, and we would probably have more kids.
You can adopt. There's plenty of ones out there.
No. I've at this point, John's 16, so it's not that far off before we're having some grandbabies.
If we were going to adopt, I would adopt like a 16-year-old. Yeah, just a year or 2. Get out of high school. See ya.
Work around the house.
See ya.
Need somebody to cut my grass.
Yeah, well, my 2 kids are getting a little old.
They're no more cutting grass.
They're going to move away one day, maybe.
All right. So let's legit talk about the race now that we veered left and chased
that McDowell dude did pretty good, Brad.
Did you enjoy the race? Yes or no?
I did.
I'm
even though there's no cautions.
It's the first race since 2012 that only had 1 caution flag. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I didn't think it was a great race. I didn't think it was a bad race.
At the end, though, I was thinking Suarez overcame the hose.
Yeah.
And I don't mean women that give it away for free with the air hose. And I really thought Chase might catch up and pass.
Chase had something, and I thought McDowell was going to screw up at the end, and Chase was going to get by.
Well, I figured his pit crew just wasn't going to let him win. But they did. He didn't make a mistake.
No, McDowell, and he did. McDowell ran good from qualifying on.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fluke. I mean, he legit.
More power to him. I was happy for him.
I watched IndyCar. Scott Dixon, congratulations. Ty Gibbs won the Xfinity race. Majesty won the truck race. Congrats for all those guys. I really thought at lap 1 of the Indy race at the road course, like, this is going to be an exciting weekend. I mean, you had all those Indy cars launching through the air. Dude took the lead from like 17 back. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, I thought there was some Dukes of Hazzard action going on with the Indy cars.
To me, the Indy road course without cautions or stage breaks reminded me of like an old school sports car race, like an IMSA style race.
Well, only got 24 hours a day time.
Yeah. And I don't hate that style of racing, but for me, I'm like ADD. I'd rather watch a 410 sprint race.
Well, maybe your first
50 laps.
Your first 24 hours, they race like NASCAR the last lap. Those 2 Porsches.
But it's different when you're there. I think that's why I said.
Yeah, you got to go.
I texted Jamie yesterday. I said, Watkins Glen 2024, ? I think it would be cool to go to one of these road course races and camp out all weekend because I don't think you get the whole experience watching it on TV.
No, I don't think so either.
So Michael McDowell, like we said, I'm all for it. Michael McDowell drives for Love's Truck Stops, and when we became Cannonball Run champions, we preferred Love's Truck Stops.
So yeah, our non-sponsor sponsor.
Yeah, our unofficial sponsor, Love's. Yeah, all for it.
Clean bathrooms, good coffee.
Except for that one stall Jamie.
Arkansas Loves. Don't.
Is that the one you pooped on the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go in there.
I acted like I was a local.
He thought he would live there.
Yeah.
So we had all the ringers come in this weekend. We had Shane Van Gisbergen.
Can you really call them ringers when most of them finished after the 20th position?
Well, Van SVG didn't. He finished 10th. Brody finished.
That's respectful for a guy that we thought might be a fluke in Chicago.
Well, Ricky Stenhouse hit every one of them. I think Ricky bounced.
Ricky and Joey were playing bumper cars.
Ricky's running for the Republican president nomination, I think, for
With all those
2024. So he hit every other country out there. He literally hit everybody.
When he finished, he wanted a recount on how many cars he hit.
He's like, I don't.
In Georgia. Sure. He wanted Georgia to do the recount for bumps. That's so wrong. No politics.
So Shane finishes 10th. Brody finishes 22nd. Mike Rockefeller finishes 24th. Button finishes 28th. And
Kobayashi looked lost, dude. I'm just saying.
How you say his first name?
Kamui?
Kamui Kobayashi.
Did you see him dive bomb turn one and just flip out?
Dale Jr. said on his podcast last week he thought Kobayashi was going to be the winner.
That dude was out of control, man.
He looked as lost as AJ Allmendinger did.
He looked like he was wearing a kamikaze headband looking for an American carrier to crash.
He looked like Joey Logano in the first stage. It was horrible. Literally, Joey Logano looked like he didn't even belong on the racetrack. He looked like an amateur ARCA driver.
So let's take the O away from his name. He's just Joey Logano now. Logan.
Joey Logan. All that hair.
Like Joe Rogan.
I can't stand his flipping hair,
He's
man.
Joey Rogan.
His hair.
Joe Rogan's cousin.
Joey Logano's hair reminds me of the poop emoji.
I think he's got a weave, dude.
It's not real. He better not go to Popeyes.
It's a weave.
Don't go to Popeyes.
They'll rip it right through the drive-through window. Yeah, it's over.
That ain't real, Joey. Give me that weave.
He's done.
AJ Allmendinger. Is he coming back to Cup next year?
Probably shouldn't.
I don't know. I'm torn on it because Justin Haley's going to go. He's moving up in the ranks. He's going to go drive for Rick Ware Racing. So that leaves.
Do you think he is suspicious that Colleague's going to fall apart? Why would you do that? First of all, we talked a little bit of it. Why would you go to Rick Ware Racing? Do they offer you crazy money?
They have to.
Did they change their policy on the treatment of girlfriends?
But maybe Colleague wasn't offering him a multi-year deal without bringing more money to the table. So maybe his only option, we all like Justin Haley, but maybe his only option was to go there.
Do you think you sit down to sign the contract and in it says my sons are allowed to hit your wife or girlfriend?
Maybe. I doubt it, though. I don't think they're in the picture at all anymore.
I think an illegal contract's illegal.
I think Rick Ware put Cody and Shane up for adoption. They've been adopted.
Oh, I think he threw him in jail. He said, I'm sorry. He did.
They're working at a Chinese factory is what I heard.
No, I heard they're over in the Ukraine trying to get some contracts for oil.
They're probably working in the Ukraine.
Or China. One of the two.
They're probably mid-level executives in Ukraine at an oil company.
That's all
at a Chinese oil company.
Yeah, Chinese oil company in the Ukraine.
Their buddy Hunter hooked them up.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy. So, AJ, but with Haley leaving, I don't see Colleague letting AJ go back. I see him.
But AJ's not winning.
But AJ has experience.
AJ won as a part-timer.
I don't think Colleague's equipment is where it needs to be for AJ to win.
I think AJ is emotional, very emotional. And when he goes down the rabbit hole and can't see sunlight, he gets lost. And he's down that rabbit hole right now and he can't see sunlight. And he's not winning, dude. His last chance to win, regardless of the chase, is the Roval and Watkins Glen, in my opinion. That's it.
I think Watkins Glen is going to be won by Chase Elliott.
Oh, and I beat you again. You're going to take him, aren't you? After I took him and he came in second.
Yeah, I'm going to take him and he's going to finish 32nd again. It's going to be my luck. Kyle Larson has revealed his new paint schemes for next year's Indy 500 and the Coke 600. They're going to have the McLaren orange added to
I saw
the
that.
Cup car. I think it's good looking. I honestly expect Kyle Larson to do very well in the Indianapolis 500.
I think he'll do very well in the Cup Series, too.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm saying I think in the Indy 500, I think he'll do good.
You think he'll do like Kurt Busch?
Kurt Busch, yeah. So Saturday night at 1 a.m., well, Sunday morning at 1 a.m., Kyle Larson wins his second straight Knoxville National, or second. I think it's the second straight.
I think maybe he should take his winnings and split it up with the other race car drivers that don't have the money that he has.
You sound like the rest of the idiots on
I'm making
Twitter.
fun of them. I'm making fun of those idiots.
No, he shouldn't.
Winners keep the purse.
Kyle Larson puts a lot of money back into sprint cars.
Get better and you'll win.
I'm going to a sprint car race soon. I'm telling you, I have to. Like, I absolutely love sprint car
Have you
racing.
found out where the closest one is to us?
I want to go to Eldora Million next year. I want to spend the whole
Snowball
week.
Derby isn't too far from us. We've been through Oklahoma.
The Snowball Derby. That's in
Chili Bowl.
Chili Bowl, yeah.
Yeah,
The Snowball
Chili Bowl.
Derby's in
Don't you want to
Pensacola.
experience the Chili Bowl flu?
No, I don't. But I would like to do the Eldora Million the Friday night before race and then the Crown Royal race on Saturday. I think that would be a cool event.
Those cars are sick, dude.
They're insane. Like,
Let's put 500 horsepower in a go-kart.
you definitely need an extra set of balls to drive those cars.
I think they come standard.
I think they do. I think
Yeah.
they have a little pouch for you to set them in,
Uh-huh.
just so you don't crush them. It's a ball pouch is what they call it.
Yeah.
Or a nut sack. Some would
They get
call it.
old, like two in the back
Some
of
would
the
call
pouch.
it a nut sack, but others would call it
They
a
get
ball
old
pouch.
Redmond pouch. You put it in there.
You can put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's your Redmond pocket.
Introduce them to your other ones.
So apparently, the rumor in the garage right now is Shane Van Gisbergen will be coming to NASCAR driving for Trackhouse Racing next year. I don't know if they're going to get a charter for him or what, but it sounds like it's unofficially
Or they just
confirmed.
make them qualify in. Like old school.
Like every week.
Yeah. Why not?
Like he ran that truck for Nice on Saturday, and
You start figuring out the track, there wasn't enough laps for him, though.
yeah, he finished 19th, which ain't bad. You know, he's the first driver since Terry Labonte to have 2 back-to-back top 10s in his first 2 starts.
I figured he was.
He officially has more top 10s this season than Ryan Preece.
I believe it.
That's crazy, though. He's only ran in 2 races. He finished ahead of Haley Deegan in the trucks. I think he's got a lot of talent. And I think
No, he's not a fluke.
his international draw is going to bring money with him to the table. I think he brings Red Bull back into the
He's
sport.
so energetic when he's interviewed. And when he was on, I think it was the download, didn't he say he doesn't like the media? And now he's all about the media in America.
I haven't listened to the download with him on it.
Well, we've always said out of all the English colonies, they're our closest cousins. Them, the Scottish, and the Irish.
I think I did hear that he said that when he's at home, he doesn't deal well with the media. But when he's here, he enjoys talking to the media.
Is the Australian press insane?
I don't know. I think
Are
because
they like the British press?
honestly, I think if he stays here long enough and races here long enough, he'll feel the same about the media as he does here as he does there.
Well, you know, we were once had press passes, but everybody there's the same person
Oh, yeah.
because they won't grant us a press pass anymore.
Well, it works because we're a podcast. Are we really a podcast still? Like, what do
Technically, we're serial.
we do? Podcasts and
Quaker.
videos. So what would we be?
We're a media company.
Yeah.
We're multimedia.
I mean, we're a show.
Yeah, you would think. I don't know. NASCAR's always been a little bit behind the times.
Yeah, they'll catch up eventually.
I mean, it was the Winston series long after we found out cigarettes cause cancer, right?
Yeah, we're just killing the. See, it's kind of like the fentanyl thing. It's a bad
Well,
business.
Oh, Siri's getting involved now.
Siri's talking on my watch.
Don't you remember? I remember being 13 years old, going down to Richmond to a race.
Getting a pack of
A
cigarettes.
10-pack
Yes.
of Winston's. Not the full 20-pack, a 10-pack. They didn't care how old I was.
They didn't even ask how old you
This
were.
was like the late 80s, early 90s.
We would walk through. I would go through with my dad's buddies who smoked, and they'd give you cans of dip and cigarettes, and they'd hand them. Yeah, they'd hand them to me as a kid. They'd give me a bag and just fill them up, and I'd give them to
They
whoever.
wanted to get you hooked. Like fentanyl, dude.
That's what I'm saying. It's a bad business model. NASCAR realized we shouldn't be giving all our fans cancer. We're killing them. That's why there's such a big push to bring in a younger
Is that
generation.
why we don't have a title sponsor anymore?
Yeah, they're scared.
NASCAR.
The last major one killed everybody. Winston.
Well, now
And then you had Next.
5G's killing you
Yeah,
now.
they had Next telling
radiation.
Sprint, giving you 5G radiation cancer in your brain. Yeah, it's not been a good
I
run.
heard Monster Energy wanted to renew their contract, and they said no.
Probably.
Is that killing kids too? They got fentanyl in that Monster.
Probably. That's how they're getting. That's how the fentanyl dealers are smuggling their Monster Energy in now.
Cook that can,
All right, let's talk about
reduce it.
the Fox truck broadcast on FS1.
There was no truck there, dude.
This was by far the worst broadcast in the history
Our
of
studio in the
broadcasting.
barn was in better shape than their studio. It looked
looked
like they had black trash bags blowing in the wind at
Yeah.
the monitors.
and you could tell they weren't at the track. They were trying to follow the screen, and the producer kept changing screens, and Jamie and Phil sounded like two dogs chasing a fire truck down the road. Like, they tried to keep up. They're like, and here they go. Oh, and they're back to, oh, and here we go. And here we're taking the green. He's down. Oh, no, where'd he go? It sounded just like that for like 10 laps.
It sounded like they were watching the YouTube abbreviated race.
So I put
extended highlights.
I ended up playing golf on PlayStation rather than watching the truck race. I turned it on my phone, muted it, and played golf on PlayStation. That was more entertaining than
I
what Fox
recorded
did.
it, but it was horrible.
What I don't understand is Fox intentionally trying to tank their TV deal.
Oh, I don't think they're going to even participate in the TV deal.
This was the opening round of the Truck Series playoffs. Would you not think you would want to put a little bit of emphasis into your broadcast? Look, I like Jamie Little. I think Jamie Little is a great pit road reporter. I do not think Jamie, Phil, and Michael make a good booth. I don't know if it's Jamie. I don't know if it's Phil. I don't know if it's Michael. I just don't think those three together. When Alex Alexander is in there, I don't think it's as bad.
Well,
I just don't think Jamie and Phil and Michael sound like they're arguing the whole time to prove who knows the most about racing. Like Michael and Phil Parson are telling stories. These aren't two champions of the sport. Michael Waltrip drove like 739 races before he got his first victory.
But he got two. Didn't he get two Daytona 500 wins?
2 Daytona 500s and maybe a Talladega or two.
Well, I mean, he won.
Yeah,
right?
no. What Phil Parsons, he ain't got a whole lot of victories behind his name.
His brother was a champion, though.
But that doesn't.
I know, it doesn't rub off.
Your brother's a lawyer, but you can't walk into a court and do whatever you want.
Oh, yes, I can.
You're paying for it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jamie got a haircut, everybody.
Buzz cut.
He's got a haircut.
Too
like
hot.
mine.
I got too hot Saturday.
That's what happened to me.
I was like, screw this.
Like 18 years ago, I got hot and my hair gave up.
Puddle of sweat in my eyes, working out in the yard. It wasn't that hot. It was 86 degrees, but like 98%. It was horrible.
So before we jump into the motels, let's talk about the points as they run. So currently, it's close, man. It's really close. With Michael McDowell winning, I don't know who gets in. You got Chase Elliott will probably win his way in. I think Bubba Wallace. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, man, poor Ty Gibbs got bumped.
No, this is the points. It's in the playoff point. The playoff points are over here. So it's not in playoff point order. So Bubba Wallace and Ty Gibbs are on the line now. McDowell is in with a win. So that's 14. We got 14 winners.
No, what I'm saying is Ty Gibbs got bounced. He was like higher up.
Oh, yeah. He got knocked down. And I honestly thought Ty Gibbs was going to do better yesterday. I expected to see him because he was so fast in qualifying and he dominated in the.
Well, I think if Chase is going to get in, it's all up to next week.
That's what I mean. You got Watkins, Glen, and Daytona. If that's 2 new winners, that gives you, we've got 13 winners total right now. So that's 3. You got Brad and Kevin who are pretty much locked in.
Not if winners come in and bounce them for not having a win.
That's what I mean. So you got 3 drivers right now. You got Brad, Kevin, and Bubba getting in on a win. Getting in on points. If Watkins, Glen, Chase Elliott wins, that means Brad and Kevin are fighting. Which their points are high enough. But going into Daytona, one of those guys, they basically are in a win situation too.
Well, McDowell's won Daytona. He can win a second time.
I think the way Chase Elliott ran at the Indy road course is a precursor for what he's going to do at Watkins, Glen.
I agree.
And if you look at, I printed up the results for Watkins Glen last year. Chase Elliott finished 4th and Kyle Larson won. So that tells me that Hendricks is probably going to be pretty fast.
Well, they didn't really show. Chase showed.
Well,
Larson was top 10. The rest of them, my goodness.
Alex Bowman was 5th. They had 3 cars up there.
I don't really count Bowman.
William Byron was 15th after he tried to cheat all weekend and lost half his crew.
It's probably not a good idea. You got to be better at cheating.
You got to try harder now, I think. With these single source parts, it's not as easy to cheat.
No.
All right, Jamie, we're racing in Watkins Glen next weekend. Where would we not want to stay at if we were going to Watkins Glen and staying in a motel?
First off, there's a lot of violence in these. Not really a lot of funny, fun. So, really, if anyone is a victim of violence,
domestic violence?
National Domestic Violence Hotline is 800-799-SAFE, SAFE, or 7233. I'm going to repeat the number, 800-799-7233. There is no reason to put up with domestic violence.
And if you or somebody you know
spouse, child, anyone,
if you or somebody you know is dealing with domestic violence, please feel free to use this number for the domestic violence hotline. 1-800-799-SAFE, 7233, SAFE.
So we'll get into it. Won't name the motel, but it's all free for you guys. You can go to TripAdvisor,
they
Priceline, Google.
Yeah, they publish this stuff.
Yeah.
So don't hesitate to reach out and read it.
So this is a Christine K. 1 out of 5.
1/5.
A 5th. It's a 5th of Jack Daniels.
This
place sucks. No stars. All right, well, she fell down that rabbit hole immediately.
It's been a while, too.
Yeah.
The 0-star trap hadn't caught anybody in a while, so.
Lots of drug activity, and DSS puts sex offenders here. I don't know what that is.
Department of Secret Service.
Oh, that makes sense. This place is disgusting. Full of nasty individuals. It's filthy. The nastiness is just appalling. They kind of just covered that up, didn't they?
Yep.
It's appalling, folks. Yeah. Not even close to being a good place. Okay. You kind of painted that picture for us, Christine.
Yeah, somewhere around disgusting. Disgusting,
then
full
she
of
repeats,
nasty, filthy.
Not kid-friendly. Of course.
Well, she's called this place in 2 sentences so far: disgusting, nasty, filthy, nastiness, appalling.
Not family-friendly or kid-friendly.
Not a good place.
Fleas wouldn't even stay. Full of ex-cons, sex offenders.
Well, you already told us DSS puts them there.
Active drug addicts.
Active ones. They're actively used. Well, how does she know they're drug addicts? What if they're not even hooked yet?
She kind of reveals later.
Right, Karen.
She stays there quite often.
Right.
This is tied to NASCAR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Always violence. I think she stays here once a year for Watkins Glen. Nasty, dirty rooms. Yeah, you kind of cover that.
Like Kamala Harris just throwing out 3 words.
To be honest, this place really looks run down. Yeah, you kind of said that. It doesn't look like a very happy place.
Obviously not.
There is this one room that has a brown door, and the rumor is somebody got killed in there, and they don't run it out I think that was a
Don't
spelling
run it
problem.
out anymore.
Yeah. But who knows? And then she does a smiley face, funny
Oh.
ha emoji. My own experience scared the shit out of me.
Scared her.
I think she kind of painted a picture that this might be a place that would scare you.
I'm scared.
I was sleeping after I sprayed bug killer on, under, and around the bed. I bring a
That
sleeping
doesn't
bag.
sound safe.
Well, she brings a sleeping bag just in case.
Isn't that what made the people at Camp Lejeune so sick? Is the bug spray in the water?
Yeah.
So she's not even going to be able to get on a lawsuit for Camp Lejeune. So it's. I
don't think she's.
I don't think this is safe.
She's
Spraying
not ex-military. I don't think.
This don't sound safe.
She might be like a bug Navy SEAL.
It's all that bug spray on you. The chemicals seeping into your skin. You're sleeping with it in,
Well, it says,
and you put it in your bed. No. And she put a sleeping bag with it in it. Sleeping bag. Those
that's her
chemicals can't
sleeping
be
bag.
safe, man.
Maybe she sleeps on top of it like
I don't care how
blanket,
nasty
like
it is.
we
You
did
don't
on the
bathe
Cannonball
you don't
Run.
bathe in chemicals. That's all I'm saying. It's just not safe.
She brings that sleeping bag just in case she has to sleep at such a place.
Well, so do we.
I don't have a lot of money, but I've got common sense.
Not really. If you're sleeping in this place with all that bug spray chemicals on you, girl. Mm-mm.
So I'm sleeping and someone kicks in the door screaming for Lisa. Well, we know her name's Christine.
Yeah. Lisa's from...
To get out, get home, and cook dinner. I'm not Lisa. Yeah. That'd be kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean...
Some abuser kick in the door and say, get home and cook dinner?
Hey, chill out, man.
I hope she told this hillbilly.
Quickly.
I'm not Lisa.
Well, she says, I'm not Lisa right there.
Yeah.
I'm not Lisa. You think she's just, I'm not Lisa.
Well, she didn't put an exclamation point.
I wonder if she told him the room was nasty. This room's really
probably
nasty.
Did.
I'm not Lisa, but this room is really nasty.
Please won't even stay here.
Use some common sense, sir.
I do sleep with pepper spray and sweatpants and a t-shirt.
Oh, that's good.
She didn't say she was wearing them, though.
She sleeps with them.
They're in the sleeping bag with her.
Yeah.
I keep slides next to the bed. What is that? Does that mean... What does that mean?
It's like a slideshow. You know, remember like Chevy Chase sits in the attic watching the slides on the family vacation, Christmas vacation movie?
Oh, so before we had that slide program made by Microsoft, when you had an actual slideshow?
Yeah. She keeps those. It's probably family videos. It helps with
the
her
way she
nervousness.
talks about it, I was thinking they were like flip-flops, but...
Well, I guess it could have been those two, but I'm going to
go with Nike or
no.
What?
I'm going to go with the family videos from the 70s.
Have you seen there's some brand called Oyos?
No. Is it really?
Ofos.
Ofos?
I don't know how to say it.
Old folks.
It's a young guy wearing it, though, like an athlete.
Yeah, I don't know.
So she sleeps with pepper spray and sweatpants and t-shirt. I keep slides next to the bed, which I've already said. So I spray this wife beater in the face.
With bug spray?
Well, she said pepper spray.
Oh, well, she sleeps with bug spray, too.
Well, maybe she got... I would think the DDT probably stings pretty bad, too.
She probably uses both at the same time.
Yeah.
Double time.
So I spray the wife beater in the face, slip on my slides, and run to my car. I'm too nervous to open the car. I can't press the right button on the fob.
Oh, no.
That's pretty nervous. It's big. Lock button's always bigger, but unlock is right below it usually. So this dude came out of my room shooting a gun all over the place. Wow.
Wow,
that's a rock'em sock'em turn of events.
Yeah, I mean, this took a left. She goes from pressing the key fob to
Maybe he's
get
a
shot.
wife shooter.
Yeah, not even a beater.
Lisa must still be alive, though, if he's looking for her.
He's going Old Testament. He breaks out a gun. Bah, bah, bah.
Screaming, Lisa, I'm going to kill you.
She went from wanting dinner to killing. Now, that took that marriage is shot.
I think maybe dinner needs to be on that table when he gets home.
Or, yeah.
In his opinion. Wow.
You had to have a 12 gauge at the door.
I'm completely freaking out as I'm hiding behind my car. Yeah.
Yeah.
I then hear a car start up and I peek. This nut is still standing there loading his gun. WTF.
Wow.
I figure now's my chance. I unlock the door and start my car. Luckily, I backed into the parking place. I'm dunking. I'm ducking. Is that spelled right?
Ducking. She's ducking mad.
That's like a duck, though. An actual duck. I'm going to have to look at that later. I'm ducking under the hood. She's going, quack, quack. That's not funny. This dude beats his wife. It's pretty apparent.
Oh yeah, but his
800
wife's not here. He's
yeah.
not currently beating her, so we can laugh.
Yes.
He left his wife at home making dinner. He's now aggravating Lisa.
I put the car into drive and look up, and I see in a flash a newer Cadillac flat out run this guy over and knocks him out of his shoes, and he flies into the wall next to my room. Good night,
And she's in the car still.
She's in her car, staring at this while it happens in front of her. A lady jumps out of the caddy and screams, "I killed you. You can't kill me. You suck." Wow. That's with exclamation points. I killed you. You can't kill me. You suck. That's how it would have really been.
Like, that's,
But this guy's not.
you could probably use that in divorce court.
Yeah.
You suck. Why are you getting a divorce? He sucks.
Yeah.
You try marrying him, Judge. He sucks.
But the
And,
guy,
sir, why are you wanting a divorce? She sucks too. You be married to her. She sucks.
but the guy is not dead. He starts swinging at her from the ground, and she goes back to the car and pulls from the trunk a tire iron and starts beating him. Maybe they both need to call this hotline.
Amen. Hallelujah.
I hear sirens, and a few seconds later, the police arrive. I work at the track, and it's race weekend. I just drive to the track and sleep there. That's it. All that craziness, and she just...
This is why Dale Jr. had to pull out his press pass to get up into the booth, because the lady had been dealing with the crazy murderers. Yeah.
Or her husband.
Probably both.
All beaten to a pulp.
Yeah.
Hit by a car, no shoes, and black eyes from the tire iron.
Yeah, I mean, that tire iron tells you he might have worked on pit crew.
So I'm just going to say, hey, it's probably a cheap room. You should expect these things, these extra pets that
You
are
should
free.
have just slept at the track to start with. I mean, this kind of
I'm
stuff.
sure there's a...
Yeah,
if you work
this
at the
goes
track,
on at the track.
there's
I'm
showers
sure.
at the campground.
I'm
She
sure
could've
this
showered
goes
there.
on at the track, but in probably a less aggressive manner.
Well, Brad's got family up in upstate New York. That's pretty redneck, if you ask me. That sounds like Georgia stuff happened in upstate New York.
Yeah, I mean, it's just northern rednecks. They're the same.
Yeah, I got some Minnesota redneck relatives.
Yeah, they're the same as Georgia rednecks. They just talk weird. They got a funny
They got
accent.
different weird.
They got a funny accent. You know, down here in the South, we ain't got no accents.
Up in Minnesota,
I don't think I have an accent.
they say A like Canadian.
Eh?
Eh?
Yeah, they say that in New York too.
They say,
I mean, we're in Niagara County, which is Niagara Falls. So, I mean, you can't get much closer to Canada than that.
they say oofda.
That's where the dude had 400 pounds of marijuana trying to drive
got
into
lost.
America. Yeah, I've been to that bridge. I've crossed over the border crossing there. You don't mistakenly do it with 400 pounds.
Buffalo, and my wife was working out of.
They don't live near Buffalo. They're like 30 minutes away from Buffalo. Is not upstate New York. Buffalo is like Detroit.
Western Detroit.
Yeah.
Eastern Detroit.
East Detroit. It
East
is. I mean, it's
Detroit.
it's just across the lake, just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Well, you know they do make a lot of cars in Detroit still.
And they steal a lot of them in Buffalo still.
Look, it's our favorite chain that I can't say.
Yeah, we're not going to say the chain
It's
of
not
this
the
motel.
W train. It's
Nope.
the.
Oh, all right. Let's talk about
There's
it.
Starlight in there. It's up to you guys to Google that action.
Hey, Seneca Indians.
Yeah.
We talked about the Seneca tribe.
Oh,
I've been to the reservation there.
Oh, yeah.
I have been to the reservation, the Seneca
Okay.
reservation.
Well,
It's on the way to
Irene-
New York.
Irene.
We
is a
drive
1 out
right
of 5.
through Seneca Nation. Hey, right there.
Irene H. 1 out of 5.
I met her. She was there.
Look, I don't understand this part. Family. She put family under her rating. Family.
That's what she
Did
wants.
she take the whole family there?
She wants a family, Jamie. That's all she wants.
Well,
So she went to the Indian reservation.
Chris. No, this is Irene.
Irene.
The place was falling
Irene.
apart. Toilet leaking. Shower had no shower head, so you're just basically a faucet up on your head.
It's like getting peed on by a dog, but harder.
And the non-smoking room smelled like cigarettes. That happens a lot, though. You smoke in the hotel, the whole place.
That's
smell
because
like
it was a smoking room the week before. You got to give it some time to air out, Irene.
Well, that was only in North Carolina. You're allowed to smoke in smoking room. Virginia, probably.
Virginia, yeah. I think in West Virginia you can smoke in a room still.
Okay.
I know you can in Mississippi. If you have a Mississippi pisser, you can smoke cigarettes at the hotel.
And chew dip.
No, you can only dip at church.
Oh, okay.
It's weird Mississippi rules. They don't have laws; they have rules.
Well, they said outside seemed nice.
I'd
At least
stay out
there's
there.
that.
Why wouldn't you just stay outside then?
Beds were comfy. What more do you want in a hotel?
Free cigarettes and comfy beds.
Yeah.
You got it made.
There's no meth heads like at the last place. She didn't go in like 20 times to tell us how disgusting it was. Everything was unplugged, so at first it seemed like nothing worked.
That's because they wanted to get struck by lightning.
Yeah.
Irene.
Internet was not working. The person at the front desk blamed it on the hurricane.
Well, that could happen, Irene.
In upstate New York? I don't think so.
Comes off that lake every time. The Caribbean.
The Finger Lake?
The Caribbean air.
It's just finger size?
The Caribbean air mixes with the Canadian air right there over the Lake Ontario, and it shoots off hurricanes.
Like, I went to this fancy...
It's called lake effect hurricanes, though. You got to get it right.
I went to this fancy party once, and they had these fancy... They were sandwiches, but they were cut into little squares with no crust.
Yeah,
I forget what they call them. Finger sandwiches, maybe.
You don't finger a sandwich.
Well, you do at the Finger Lakes.
That's nasty.
Do you think they call it Finger Lakes?
Nobody wants to eat a sandwich that's had your
finger. There's 5 fingers at the Finger Lakes? Look at the map. It looks like upside down ham with 5 fingers.
I worked with this guy, Michael McBee, one time, and he stuck his finger in my burger. We was at the counter working, and he was mad because I was going to eat before him. So he walked over and stuck his finger right in my burger. It was funny. Anyway, go back to your Finger Lakes.
Yeah. So he fingered your food.
Yeah, I didn't eat it. Maybe I did. I can't remember. Beds were comfy.
Everything was unplugged. We did that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the hurricane. It's 200 miles inland and in the mountains. I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't make no sense.
Tornadoes maybe, but not no hurricanes.
I just explained to you how hurricanes form over the
Finger Lakes?
Yeah.
All right. I asked to speak to the owner. Some guy comes out from behind the office in his underwear and in a tank top.
Definitely the owner.
He was eating a taco or something and could not or would not speak to me. Instead, he was yelling at the child working in the office in another language.
What language?
So child labor must be his child. And that's the only time that's allowed.
I guess.
I spoke to him and he started throwing things from the counter. I said, calm down. You don't tell an angry person to calm down.
No,
it never works.
That actually makes it worse.
Yes. I guess, they figured it out. I should not have said that. Yeah. He picked up the computer and threw it to the lobby. He then slapped the child, screaming in another language and spitting his food all over the place. He went over to the TV in the lobby, pulled it from the wall and smashed it on the floor. Flipped the couch over, then picked up a coffee table and smashed it. He then went into the breakfast area, turned over a refrigerator, threw a microwave on the floor and a waffle iron, and a juice machine. That's losing it.
That is definitely
losing it. If he owns a hotel, he's got to fix all that. What is he going to tell the people at the continental breakfast in the morning?
That there's no juice.
Yeah, or refrigerator.
And the waffle is gone.
The child then looked at me and said she could not find my reservation and to ignore her dad. He acts like this all the time. Whoa. So he repairs the lobby all the time? I replied, I already have a room, just wanted some toilet paper. She said with a computer smash, there was nothing she could do.
Can't get that toilet paper off Amazon if you can't order it.
You got to be able to see that screen.
Every time.
I took pictures and a quick video of the owner who by then had started taking pictures off the wall and smashing them on the floor.
Well, it already broke everything else.
I sent these to the customer service agent at Priceline. They refunded my money. I then called my husband and told him to meet me at the car with our luggage. I then called 911 and told them they should also bring someone from Child Services. And I left. You know, that sounds like she was not a Karen. It sounds like appropriate behavior with some concern for the child that he was smacking.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first one was definitely Kristen Karen.
There was some violence there.
I think it's driving me crazy today.
But, you know, just National Domestic Violence Hotline is 800-799-SAFE or 7233. And this child should not have to take it from her father. And it sounds like if it wasn't his child, there's some child labor action going on there.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, doesn't sound right to me.
No, I mean, there's definitely some nefarious stuff going on there.
That's a pretty wordy word there, nefarious.
You like that? That's my word of the day.
It's like Rastafarians. Rastafarius.
Rastafarius. That's the new Jamaican Fast and Furious.
Rastafarius.
Rastafurious.
Very furious. So it sounds like their new energy drink
Rastafurious 5.
infused with weed.
Yeah.
Rastafurious. Hey, hold it.
It's a rowdy.
Should we copyright that?
Is it rowdy and 3 cheese combo? Rastafurious?
Well, we could go to a legal state and copyright the name and get someone else to produce it for us. They take on all the financial risk.
An energy weed.
Rastafarius.
An energy weed drink.
Furious.
Get your energy and your...
Furious. Get your furious on.
Get furious with Rastafurious.
Fentanyl free.
All right, so we are racing in Watkins, Glen this weekend. The race is at 3 o'clock on USA, and MRN is a 2.45
So tired of
mile
these 3
road course.
Hey, let's make sure it rains in the afternoon and have a 3 o'clock start.
Yes.
Can we do that?
Well, we can race in rain tires. We have sprinkle tires.
Why isn't the NFL can start at 12:30 on a Sunday, but NASCAR can't?
Why don't we have lightning tires?
We should. Well, isn't rubber by nature non-conducive for electricity?
Why don't, yes. So
you're isolated.
And the cameramen have tennis shoes on.
Yeah.
That's rubber soles. They're okay, guys. Let's race.
There's a lot of plastic on those cameras.
I literally hate rain delays, but I hate lightning delays more.
Why don't they get a copper wire, put it in their rubber shoe, and put it to the ground with a nail, and then they'd be grounded? That's a Potter saying when you say, "Oh, he's well grounded."
Yeah, it is.
Is that what Ben Franklin told his idiot son as he was holding the kite?
Probably.
You're well grounded.
You're well grounded, son. All right, so I'm going to do the top 10 from the last race here and their 3-race average finish. Kyle Larson won it here last year. His average finish is 3.3.
Pretty good job.
AJ Allmendinger has only raced here once in the last 3 races. He finished second. Joey Logano finished third, 16.0 average finish. Chase Elliott, 2.3. Daniel Suarez in fifth with a 17.7 average finish. Michael McDowell, sixth with a 14.3 average finish. Tyler Reddick, 8.5. Christopher Bell, eighth with a 7.5 average finish. Chris Buescher, ninth with 13.0 average finish. And Eric Jones has a 13.7 average finish and finished 10th. But I would not pick Eric Jones because Legacy sucks right now.
Well, they're kind of in that lame duck period where they don't have a manufacturer.
Correct.
They just happen to be driving the Chevys.
It almost seems like Stuart Haas Racing is also in that lame duck period.
It does.
Because every other Ford team's winning but Stuart Haas.
Yep.
So maybe, just maybe, they're changing manufacturers.
They're going to Chevy and
nobody knows.
Junior's buying in.
Crazier things have happened, my friend.
Well, Mr. Haas could keep a third interest, just sell a third interest to...
True that. All right. I lost last week again. I'm on like a roll. I don't think I've won in like 2 months.
Well, you didn't lose bad this time. You were only off by 4 points.
I had Truex, Cindric, and SVG for a total of 31 points. Jamie had Soras, Brody, and Elliott for a total of 27 points.
All yours were top 15.
I know. They really, neither one of us had bad picks. Brody killed you. If you honestly wouldn't have picked Brody, you would have been good to go.
Yeah, guess who was going to pick instead of Brody? But I decided Brody would step it up so we wouldn't look like a douche. Like,
who are we going to pick?
Coming in, I was going to go with the winner, McDowell.
Really?
But I was like, you know what? SVG, he's going to put a little pressure on Brody not to wuss out.
But I thought I had McDowell for some reason, but I didn't. I had Cindric, which I don't know why I thought he was going to.
We were talking about, are you going to pick McDowell? Right. And I said, yeah, I think I'd go with Brody if you're going SVG.
So
we can always go to the videotape or the recording.
True that.
Yeah.
Well, as with the way we do our fantasy points, the lower number wins. Jamie had 27. I had 31, so I picked first again this week. Overall, I have a total of 1,065, and Jamie has a total of 970 overall points.
So who you going to pick, Brad?
I'm going to go with Chase Elliott.
Oh, man, I was going to go with him again if you didn't pick him.
I'm going to go with... Oh, man. This middle group's hard. I'm going to go with Buescher.
Buescher. Really?
Yep.
Okay. That's a surprise.
And
He's won too.
Yeah, I mean, but
this ain't an oval.
Bush or Gibbs. I'm not going with Blaney or Cindric because they're on the losing team. So, in my from 21st to 30th pick, I'm going to go with. Man, I don't want to get AJ again.
AJ ain't got it in Cup, dude. I'm just saying.
No, I don't.
Or their cars ain't functioning. One or the other.
Yeah,
they're on that. They're on that motorcycle club Chevy.
I'll go with Bush, Kyle Busch.
Well, he kind of shocked me. Did he drop a cylinder? He dropped something.
Something happened. He had some issues. All right, who you got?
All right. Why?
Messed you up.
I'm going with Kyle. He
Larson.
won last time.
All right.
In the mid pack. Noah Denny. He won at Sonoma, didn't he? Doesn't matter. I'm going to pick him anyway. And I can't say the name.
Sonoma.
Sonawawa?
Some more.
Well, it's getting tight. Kevin's got to perform, dude.
Yeah, but he hasn't. Yeah, those
and
broken ribs.
Sucked at a road course lately.
Jensen Button there.
Ugh.
Ty Dillon's still available if you want to use him.
Yeah, he's always awesome. I'm going to say Joey's going to pop out of his shell like a Ninja Turtle.
Logo no.
So I got a Chevy, a Toyota, and a Ford.
I got 2 Chevys and a Ford. All right, that's all I got this week. What about you, Jamie? You got
happy anniversary. You going to take her something better than Burger King?
Yeah, I was thinking about Domino's.
Where did you, first time you took her out to eat, where did you take your wife?
Oh, Carrabba's.
Nice.
Our first date was...
You went to impress, huh?
So we were actually we were pretty much best friends all through high school. I think it was like 10th grade during the middle biology class. I stood up and told the whole class I was going to marry her one day. I didn't necessarily know at that point, but...
You were prophetic, dude.
It came true, right? Speak it and it shall come true.
Wow.
That was in 10th grade. 11th grade, we went on our first date. It was on Valentine's Day. Went to the movies and went to Carrabba's.
What movie was it?
I think it was Valentine was the name of the movie.
Oh, the horror flick, Valentine's Day?
Yeah, but see, we didn't
watch it much?
We weren't trying to have boyfriend and girlfriends and deal with all the Valentine's BS. So as friends, we just went out. That was kind of our first date, was really just as friends. And then senior year, we started dating. And got married a few years after. Been together like 22 years or something like that.
Popped some kids.
Married 19 years, 3 kids.
Bought a house, car.
Had a few dogs.
Sound like an American dream there.
American dream. America. But going to Enzo's Steakhouse at Trilith Studios tonight.
I don't even know where that is.
You know where Trilith Studios is? Trilith.
Oh, yeah. It's new. They built it like before COVID.
Your thing off again.
My thing keeps falling off. I'm going to need help from a physician.
But that's all I got for today. Thanks to everyone who listens, watches, shares the show on social media. Thanks again, Russ. We greatly appreciate you listening.
Thanks, Russ.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Go to our YouTube channel. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're already there. So make sure you like this video and subscribe. Check out our other videos if you haven't watched them yet. Check us out on Spotify and make sure to rate us there. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcast and leave us a review like Brandon did. Thanks again, Brandon. We appreciate it. Send us a DM or you can email us at racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. Again, our email address is racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. Send us an email, ask us a question, tell us what you think. We don't care. Whatever you send us, we'll read it. And make sure to check out our merch store. It's racecarbackwards.com or racecarbackwards.threadless.com. And we are now on Facebook, so go to the Facebook page and follow along.
Do you follow or are you friends? Have you figured that out?
You'll never figure it out.
Why? I hate Facebook.
I know. You're struggling with sliding into those DMs this week.
I did not even slide into a DM. I read them.
Have you ever slid into a DM?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay. Well, don't do it.
Okay.
All right, that's all we got, guys.
Well, how can you slide into a DM? Isn't that directly to you?
Just Google it.
Whatever.
Look it up online.
You know, I asked some friends to
It's
friend
like
me.
having confidence.
I don't know what
online.
you do on Facebook. You ask them to be your friend?
Yeah, you have a friend request.
And now I'm nervous. You know why?
Because they haven't replied?
No, one didn't reply, and they called me and said, is that really you?
Is this really you? The last Jamie Farrow I was friends with on Facebook was sending me nudie pictures. Is this really you?
I said, yeah, that was my request. Don't worry about it. Whatever.
That's funny. So did they accepted your request?
I don't know how to tell if they have.
All right, guys. We greatly appreciate everybody who listens. Catch you next week. Y'all have a great week. Bye, everybody.
See ya. Think Elon will buy Facebook next?
I hope so.
Call it FaceX?